as we can. We also have the Illinois section manager, and I'll let him introduce some of the Illinois people.
I have our section emergency coordinator, Steve Warner. I have Jim, who is our ACC, as well as our technical specialist managing the website. And I have Ron, KD9IPO, who is an assistant section manager.
Yep.
As well as an assistant section emergency coordinator.
Okay, what I'd like to do is maybe have the ARRL fellows kind of maybe talk a little bit, and I'll do some, Brett and I will do some higher level stuff. They can talk about section stuff, and then we can open it up for questions from anybody about anything about the ARRL. So, do you have anything to say?
Well, right
Tom?
now, we're still wrestling with the fact that the system is down. Some portions, I should say, of the system is down. And what I have been doing is to make sure that I can get a newsletter out to everybody. I've gone ahead and I've put that newsletter up on our website, which is ARRL-il.org. So my newsletters are going up there. I publish about one every 30 to 45 days. So that's in the process of going up there. In addition to which, anytime we have an update on the computer system at headquarters, I've also been putting that over there. If you saw, I was putting it up on Facebook, but unfortunately, Facebook claimed that I was violating the rules and procedures. So I turned around and said, fine, I'll just go ahead and put it up on the ARRL-il.org website. So I'm trying to make sure that everybody's up to date as to what's going on right now. Looks like the section, we could use a few new members because this has been a bad year for SKs, silent keys. I'm averaging in the area of 2 to 3 a week.
Wow.
So, I encourage everybody, particularly the young people. And if you need help in recruiting the young people, let us know. Ron told me about being up in Wisconsin, right? Or Michigan. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, I'll talk about that one.
Go ahead.
Okay. I'm Ron Delbear-Smith, KD9IPO. Like I say, I play outdoors, which I do a lot of. But earlier this year, I was up at the Hudsonville Hamfest over in Aitland, just outside Grand Rapids. And during setup the night before the Hamfest, it was Friday night, I set up my camper. And the club does their annual picnic on Friday night. Invited me over there. I'm enjoying a hamburger and that. And I happened to look over and I saw a young lady with a HT on her hip. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. And as I'm talking with people, hey, there's another kid. There's another kid. I started looking around. I counted, I think it was 23 or 24 kids with HTs on their hips. And they were not cheap HTs. They were, I was like, wow, okay. Come to find out, the club has a little sub-club as well. The kids have their own little meetings, and just they're in high school, some are in middle school, but they also have their own net during the week. I asked one of the kids, I go, why ham radio? What got you? What interests you? How can I go about getting more kids interested over in the Chicagoland area? Her answer was, go for the parents. If the parents are interested, the kids will become interested as well. And it's like, that's an interesting thought. She goes, and to be honest, our parents buy our radios for us for presents. So, because we can't afford it.
Yep.
So we need to start looking at the parents, not us older people, grandparents, or in some cases great-grandparents. Let's focus on the parents that are in their 30s, 40s. Lower that average age and try and get the kids involved as well. Turn it into a family hobby instead of just one person off doing stuff. So.
It was kind of an eye-opener when he came back with that information that let's focus on the parents rather than focus on the kids, because obviously our focus has always been on talking with the kids.
It was a ta-da moment.
Yeah.
So all these kids are licensed operators?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now here, not just technician.
Yeah.
When I was talking with Grace, a friend of hers came over and Came over to Grace, and Grace goes, "How'd you do?" She goes, "I passed." And I was like, "Well, congratulations. What license did you get?" Extra. What grade are you in? I'm a freshman. Freshman in high school with an extra.
Mm-hmm.
And so I asked, because Grace was an extra as well, and I asked, I go, "So what class license makes up most of the kids, most of the youth?" And she goes, "We've got a few technicians, most are generals, and we've got a number of people that are either extras or studying for their extra." And it's like, okay, it literally was eye-opening.
Right.
So
That's good.
it was worthwhile.
Start talking to the parents rather than the kids. Keep the kids in mind, but start talking with the parents too about it.
Yeah, you got to hit them early too,
Yeah.
before they get involved in sports and all that other stuff.
Wine, women, and song.
Okay. Any more with you got Steve and
Yep. Steve, you want to say something?
Yeah,
Talk
well,
about our plan.
yeah, I was appointed the section emergency coordinator in April, and we formed a committee and come up with a statewide plan. We had a hodgepodge of plans. District 11 had a pretty intricate plan. Various parts of the state have plans, some have none. So what we want to do is have a generalized areas plan with an HF component. So we put it together, and it come out, it was published in July. It'll be updated in January or sooner. We've got some changes we want to make to it, and I'll be doing a presentation tomorrow at 11:30 specifically about the plan. If you want to look the plan over, go to our Aries, Illinois page, ARRL-Illinois.org. Under the Aries tile, the plan will be there for you to look at, download, whatever you want. And we're excited about it and want to polish it, publicize it, and IUMA has indicated they will distribute it to the emergency managers in the state. And our idea is not to replace any local plans, but to supplement and augment them, and they can steal parts of it if they want to. That's great. But our idea of a perfect of it is in Polk County, rural Polk County, if the emergency manager down there needs to go and get information out in a communications blackout, he can go to a ham operator, a general class ham operator with a FD-101 and a dipole, and say, "Here, get in touch with somebody, get me some help." And he should be able to use the plan and make it work. So, see you tomorrow at the presentation, or look at the plan and send me any questions you got.
And it's important for us because in the southern Illinois area, basically from central Illinois south, we have the earthquakes. And if we ever get hit with the New Madrid or the Indiana side, we are going to be in serious trouble because nothing's going to work down there. So it's important for us to have the statewide plan. And Steve's done a great job of making sure that that got put together. And a man who keeps us all up to date on everything, Jim.
Hi, my name's Jim Hall. I am the Illinois Affiliated Club Coordinator. I'm also the Illinois Technical Specialist. My primary duties as technical specialist is keep all of these websites up and running. We designed them. Tom and his team kind of had the lead in that, but we put it on in the internets, and we keep it up to date, I think, pretty well. As the affiliated club coordinator, I go around. Usually I specifically target clubs that are in trouble or having troubles with membership or something like that. I go and I coach them. We help them oftentimes rewrite the Constitution, try and get the club back up, and we have suggestions, try and coordinate between multiple clubs on activities. And that's primarily what I do.
And he learned one very important lesson. Don't ever ask Tom what he wants on the website.
Yeah, there you go.
It's a career, not a job.
Okay, thank you, Tom, Steve, Jim, and Ron. Tom mentioned the problems they're having at headquarters with the IT systems and everything. On May 12th, we got hit with ransomware attack, okay? What they did is they got into the system, encrypted a bunch of stuff, and then they demand money to give us the decryption key. They initially wanted $5 million. That's a lot of money. But we negotiated that down to $1 million because they did not get any personal information. Okay, so it ended up at $1 million. The insurance we have paid for that, most of it, I think. And about 2 weeks after May 12th, that's when we got the decryption key. But it's not like everything turns out okay after the decryption key. We're still having problems because some of our systems, work with the financial system, work with the membership system. So we're still finding problems. We're still finding problems. The biggest one that I've heard about is probably Logbook of the World. You can input your QSOs, but you can't match and get credit for anything yet. So we're just gonna have to wait till that gets all resolved. There's also the Shortwave Modernization Coalition. I've been asked about that. That's where financial people, I guess you'd call them, want to use HF to transmit trading information because it's faster than going over a do anything about that. So there's a bunch of them up in the Chicago area, a bunch on the East Coast. We've got some good pictures of their waveform from the Chicago stations, and we've got some from the New England type, the East. At 20,000 watts. Do it with very high gain antennas. And the biggest problem appears to be if you're located near one and there's a station that transmits like at the upper band, just outside the band on 20 meters on the upper end, their signal is so wide that it'll interfere with in-band 20-meter signals. So, but the FCC is kind of consistent. They may not do anything. We have a whole pile of bills in with the FCC. They haven't done anything with those for, it's coming up on a decade on some of those, so I'm not sure what we're gonna do. Ron talked about youth. We had a motion at the July board meeting. We meet twice a year, July and January. And one of the motions was our 3-year strategy, which I don't think I've ever seen before. But we actually made official, we have a strategy. One of the big things is getting youth involved. We talked about it for years. Hopefully this will move it along and we'll actually do something about it. We got to get the kids young before they get interested in something else or before the cell phone takes over their life. Brent, you have anything else to add just in a general stuff? Okay, let me mention Brent is my vice director. I am retiring after this term, which ends on December 31st, and Brent will be your director then. And he's got a vice director picked out also, so W9HT. So everything's set up. Brent, of course, has been to all the board meetings, so he's very well knowledgeable about what's going on and who the people are and everything.
Well, thank you, Carl. I'm going to apologize to you and the group. Incoming weather's coming.
Yep.
I'm on a motorcycle,
Yep.
so I'm leaving here in just a minute.
Okay, no problem.
But thank you, Carl. Looking forward to serving the Central Division. Been in the vice director role a little over 3 years now.
Yep.
Learning a lot of things under the tutelage of Carl. Honored to represent all the names in the Central Division. So if you're not familiar with the entire Central Division, did we just adopt Illinois?
I think we did, yeah. We didn't really want them, but you know, we had to take them. Yeah.
Wait, is it Illinois or Illinois?
Illinois, yeah, I think it's Illinois.
So
Yeah.
Wisconsin, Illinois, Indiana, so quite a large area. Good group of hands to represent. Glad to see the Ham Fest. Next year it'll be the Central Division
Convention,
so,
yeah.
Hopefully see all of you again next year. So, Carl, I'm going to leave you with all the
Okay,
questions.
yeah, get out there and,
I'm going to get in front of the weather.
yeah, do it. Have a safe trip.
Stay dry.
Yeah,
Wet.
yeah. Have a wet drive, yeah, right, okay. Yeah, so,
Well, you came all the way down that way.
yeah. I live in, like I mentioned, I live in Fort Wayne. It's kind of tough to get to some of the stuff up in Wisconsin. Takes me 2.5 to 3 hours just to get out of Indiana. And then you got to keep going. Brent's from Indianapolis, I mentioned that. Hopefully he'll get to more Illinois stuff and more of the Wisconsin stuff too. Because it is it's a good division. Got a lot of good guys. And let's see, is there anything else general?
Takes 2.5 hours just to drive through Indianapolis.
Yeah, with all the construction, that's right. Yeah, that's a problem. So if there's any questions, we'll try and answer them. If anybody has any, concerns or what the heck are you guys doing? Yes, sir.
I'll get rocks thrown at me.
All right.
My name is Rich Holtman. I'm the EC for Peoria County.
Okay.
Active in this club as well.
Okay.
And my dirty rotten question is, why don't we use email for more communications than what we do? For a group of people
Mhm.
that are supposed to be good communicators,
Yeah.
why don't we use email more than what
Yeah.
we do? To improve the engagement of the many folks that we have around.
Yeah. Let me mention something about that. Maybe Tom can add his thing. But right now, we still don't, directors cannot send email to the central, I can't send emails to my division because of the ransomware. They're still working, trying to figure out why it doesn't work. Similarly, Tom cannot send emails to his section people. So that's a separate problem. Hopefully, when that gets fixed, we'll be able to get out more information. But headquarters, yeah, they need to, they can still do that, and they've been doing it on various issues. Yeah, we need to communicate better with the members.
As you know, if you're in Illinois, you send an email to me, you're going to get an answer back.
I get answers back from you way before I expected, frankly.
Yeah.
I'm very pleased with that, believe me.
Have you gotten a message back before you even sent it?
Pretty close.
It's pretty close.
We were working telepathically this morning.
Whew. Yeah, he's pretty good, isn't
We're
he?
right on the edge of that.
Yeah.
I really believe that is an important tool that
Yes.
we're not utilizing. And I suspect there's various problems, and I'm just curious to hear if anybody is willing to say, these are the problems that hold us back from doing that.
There's nothing that holds us back except do it, really. We have the technology, I believe. It's just it's an HQ issue, really. They're the ones that'll communicate to the members. Okay, here's a pop quiz. Who does Tom report to in the ARRL? Anybody know?
My guys ought to know this.
I would have guessed you, but
No. Section managers do not report to directors. They report directly to headquarters, to Mike Walters, W8ZY. He's the Field Services Committee guy. So although we talk a lot, you know, I can't direct him to do anything. Just can't do it, but we work together very well, I think. And I'm going to miss that. But I'm sure Brent will have a good time with Tom and working with the other two section managers, Bob AK9R and Jason KC9FXE up in Wisconsin. So
You all know that if you've got a problem, let me know, because
Yeah.
as I've said repeatedly, I represent the ARRL, but my first responsibility is to represent the Illinois amateurs.
yeah, and he's not shy in sending the CEO emails about issues. Amen. Yep. Amen. Yeah. So you can tell us, you know, Brent and me, but it may come better from him because it's going right to headquarters, and you know, the board is just an advisory. That's all we are, and of course, if there's a motion we need to introduce that says, hey, do this better, communicating with the members, we can certainly do it. But I think maybe down at more at the grassroots level, Tom can help out, and, as well as the other section managers.
These guys all say they have my phone number blocked.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Oh, no, it's him, don't answer.
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions about stuff? Yes, Ron?
Curious about in Newington, is the IT staff part of ARRL or is it an outsourced?
Oh, that's a good question. I should have mentioned that. Yeah. Because of the ransomware, of course, that's bad. But the good news, it showed that we weren't very good with an IT system for the corporation, right? So I think that's going to lead to a better IT system eventually. And what was created was an IT advisory committee to talk about how do we make it more bulletproof. It includes 3 outside people who are knowledgeable in IT work to help us define it. It's just not ARRL personnel. Could you say, well, wait a minute now, if it was just ARRL personnel, why did it happen in the first place? So, yeah, but we are going to, you know, talk to outside people. We've done a lot of that in working with a company called Progent. They're the ones that helped them get out of this mess. They've done a lot of work with other companies that have been hit with ransomware. So hopefully we'll get well, not hopefully, I'm sure we'll get a stronger IT department. And of course, what that I think is going to force us to do is do a much better job with Logbook of the World. It's 20 years old. It does things in ways that could be improved. So we're going to get that better, and the website needs update too. It can be a problem. So, yeah, I hope we're addressing it. Unfortunately, I probably won't see it because I'll be retiring, but I can sure talk to Brent about it and see how it's going.
Having an IT background initially when it happened.
Yep.
Okay, all right. We're
Yep.
4 months in, and systems still are not working. It shows that,
Our systems were so, yeah,
and it shows that backups are not being done.
yeah. You got that right. You got that right. Yes. Yes, sir.
To me is
Oh.
the fact that they hit us as a small organization
Well,
compared to some of the others out there.
Well, I don't think they, you know, they probably just hit everybody, and whoever gets hit, hey, let's run with it. And yeah, we shouldn't have got hit with that level, but we weren't prepared for it, so we got hit. Yeah.
I can get plenty of emails from a group claiming that, you know, they got the contest one, they got the propagation one.
Yeah, they got everything. Yep.
All these that come as emails and everything.
Yeah.
I'm kind of happy with the program they got for good review in the magazine. I like that.
Okay.
This one works. The one they had before, a few years back, that one didn't work. It kept locking up and everything else. This one, it does good. I mean,
Oh, good. Yeah, you're all aware that, you know, all members get all 4 issues digitally for the magazines, QST, On the Air, QEX, and NCJ. And of course, we had problems with the dues increase with people having to pay 25 bucks a year extra for a printed QST or on the air. That seems to have quieted down. We have lost some members because of it, but it wasn't at the level we maybe expected, so I think things are kind of leveled off and we'll be doing okay for a while until we have to pay for the IT stuff and we got to raise it. No, we're not going to do that. I don't think there's going to be another dues increase. I think there's going to be some people who are very enthused about ham radio that have lots of money, and they're going to make donations to help us do what we need to do with our hardware. Yeah.
One of the things I've told them in my clubs, I should have mentioned it before, is that if you have a silent key, make sure that you send me the information as well as the obituary. Because one of the things I discovered is frequently clubs don't send that information in. I realized that with my father when he passed away, and this club never sent the information.
Yeah.
So I told all the Illinois clubs, and I keep reiterating it, is if you do have an SK, send me that information, and then if I get it, I give it to headquarters to make sure it gets put in the column.
In a silent key column, yeah. Yes, Ron?
Yeah. One other thing is that we started doing in our club, Chicago Suburban Radio Association, is for silent keys in the area, not just with CSRA, but we do a silent key ceremony where we make a call for them and then announce that they passed, do a little obituary per se, and then close out with sign SK. So, we've had I've done it for several clubs, and when I first started doing that for the clubs, the comments coming back were remarkable. The other thing is, if anyone here wants to know the script is, I'm more than willing to send it out to you guys. Just shoot me an email, kd9ipo@arrl.net, but the relay forward is not working yet, so it's also valid at gmail.com.
We also do the same thing in Southern Illinois, and it's very well accepted by everybody and appreciated.
Yeah.
We're doing it for
It's an interesting comment about ARRL.net. I have no problem people sending me the K9LA, ARRL.net. I get the email, so it's kind of, yeah, so it's, yeah. Yep. Also, Ron talking about clubs. Well, everybody's talking about clubs. One of the things that we seem to have fallen down on is, you know, if you've been affiliated as a club for 50 years with the ARRL, with them for 75 years, with them for 100 years, you should get a plaque. And that's kind of, I think they're swamped at headquarters because of the ransomware and all that. So I think we're behind in a lot of those plaques.
Vicki is sending me Springfield group. She'll send it to me at 75 years, and they're going to celebrate it in December.
Yeah. I attended the Fox Radio Relay League on the 10th in Batavia, near Naperville in Chicago. It was their 100th year as a club, so I went to the banquet, their celebration. It was great. And in 3 more years, they'll have 100 years as an ARRL affiliated club. Now, that's a big achievement. And I told them, when you hit that, you got to invite the president of the ARRL to that, because that's a pretty big milestone. 100 years affiliated with the ARRL.
One of the things that I remind all of the clubs to do, and it's one of my pet peeves, particularly when I found some clubs that had not updated their information in 50 years, and that is that annually you were expected to update that information with the affiliated club. So anytime you have a change of officers, or once a year if you keep the same officers, that information has to be updated. Otherwise, what ends up happening is the new guy out there was looking for a club, and what does he find? He finds all outdated information, and he gets upset and doesn't look any further.
Yep.
So I keep reminding folks, make sure you're doing that on an annual basis.
Yep. Okay, any more questions? Well, good. Thank you for supporting the ARRL, that's for sure. How many life members do we have here? Oh, okay. well, I encourage you to, it's expensive, but there is a reduced fee for those over 70. Yeah.
I didn't get in on that.
Yeah, yeah. I've met a lot of older guys who got in when it was $180 for life membership. Oof, that's pretty good. And I think that's why the Maxim Society was created, to try and make money back, to pay for those life memberships that are pretty cheap. Yeah.
There's another one that I encourage you to take and contribute a small amount of money to, and that's the Diamond Club.
Yep. And if you contribute enough, you'll make it up to Maxim, which is 10,000 total donations over the years. It sneaks up on you when you donate that stuff. Yeah. Any other ARRL questions? Nope. Okay, well, thank you for attending, and enjoy the rest of the Hamfest. Enjoy tomorrow. Remember, he's got a program at what time?
8:30 tomorrow morning.
8:30. He's going to talk about all that space weather numbers and all that stuff. So it's pretty interesting. He's getting a lot of, he's done that to a lot of clubs, and it's turned out very well. So come on over here if it's not raining or something and do it. So thank you for showing up, and enjoy the rest of the Hamfest. All right. Yep. Yeah, I'm gonna go back, get my backpack and head out.
So I was supposed to be coming back to pick us up.
Oh yeah, that worked out real good.